that's the big question for today, right? How on earth did that happen? It certainly wasn't overnight. Nope. It was a long, slow climb, and it was powered by ingenuity, resourcefulness, and a few revolutionary breakthroughs that completely changed the game. So what exactly is the prehistoric era? Well, to put it simply, it's that huge stretch of time before we started writing stuff down. And we can break it down into three main ages, each one named for the main material people used for tools: the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, and the Iron Age. And believe me, these materials did a whole lot more than just make tools. They shaped entire societies.
Now, when you look at this timeline, one thing probably jumps out at you right away: the sheer scale of it all. The Stone Age kicked off over 3 million years ago. It dwarfs the other two ages. This was the long, slow burn, the foundational period, where humanity figured out the absolute basics of how to survive and innovate. So let's start there, in the Stone Age. I mean, this was one of the most critical times for our evolution. It was an age when we solved the biggest problem of all: how to not just survive, but maybe, just maybe, start to thrive.
So, the first big breakthroughs, you guessed it, stone tools. It started out super simple, right? Sharp pebbles used to cut things, then came chopping stones for wood and food, which eventually led to the hand axe, a way more complex, all-purpose kind of tool. And at the same time, humans harnessed fire, which was huge for warmth, protection, and a serious advantage against predators. You know, making a hand axe might look pretty basic to us today, but it took a multi-step process and a real understanding of how stone actually works. You couldn't just smash two rocks together. You had to carefully shape it with a hard hammer, then skillfully refine that edge with a soft hammer. This wasn't just tool making, this was complex problem solving. And that's really the key takeaway here. These simple-looking tools, they proved there was a massive leap happening in our brains. Early humans understood cause and effect, they could plan ahead, and they could pass that knowledge down. It's the same basic thinking we use today, whether we're designing an app or building a skyscraper. This was the dawn of technology. So after millions of years of hunting and gathering, another world-changing shift happened right in the middle of the Stone Age. The climate started changing, and humans began experimenting with planting seeds. They were making the jump from just finding food to actually producing it. And this changed absolutely everything. Once you start farming and you start domesticating animals like goats, pigs, and cattle, you don't have to wander around anymore. You can build permanent homes. And with a stable food supply, the population just explodes. This leads to a totally new kind of society with specialized jobs and new ways of organizing people. All right, so that sets the stage perfectly for our next big chapter, the Bronze Age. If the Stone Age was all about survival, the Bronze Age was about scaling up. A brand new material let societies get stronger, more complex, and way more connected. So why was bronze such a game changer? Well, for one, stone is brittle. It shatters. Bronze is durable and malleable, meaning you can shape it into much more complex and effective tools. The catch, though, was that you needed two specific things to make it: copper and tin. And those weren't found just anywhere. And that need for specific resources, that's what sparked the creation of trade routes between different settlements. And from there, it's like a chain reaction. Better tools meant you could do mass farming. The invention of the wheel made it way easier to move stuff along these new trade routes. All of this fueled the growth of the very first cities in places like Egypt and Greece, complete with art, culture, and all the rest. But if you think things were moving fast, then oh, just you wait. Around 1200 BCE, a new metal shows up on the scene, and it kicks off the Iron Age. And this wasn't just another small step. This was a gigantic leap forward that let society accelerate like never before. So, what was so special about iron? Well, for starters, it was stronger and more durable than bronze. But the most crucial difference, the real game changer, was its availability. Iron ore is way, way more common than copper and tin, and that meant more tools for a lot more people. This abundance had huge implications, especially for warfare. All of a sudden, the societies that had iron technology had a massive advantage. I mean, can you imagine facing an army decked out in iron weapons and armor while all you've got is bronze? That would have been terrifying. The people with the iron were the ones with the power. And it wasn't just about the battlefield. Having so much iron around transformed cities into production powerhouses. They could mass-produce tools on a scale that was just unimaginable in the Bronze Age. More tools meant more buildings, more cleared land, and a flourishing society. And if you want to see this in action, look no further than the iron plow. This one single invention completely revolutionized agriculture, which, remember, is the very foundation of civilization. You really have to appreciate the incredible ripple effect of the plow. It made farming way more efficient, which created a massive surplus of food. And as we've already seen, more food means rapid population growth. And that growth fuels the expansion of trade and the size of cities. It was this amazing cycle of growth, all sparked by one tool. So, let's just step back for a second. From the very first sharpened stone to the mass-produced iron plow, these three ages laid the entire foundation for the world we know. The story is pretty clear. The Stone Age gave us survival, the Bronze Age built connection, and the Iron Age gave us the power to scale everything up. And it's right here at the end of the Iron Age that prehistory officially ends. Around 550 BCE, we roll into the age of classical antiquity. Why? Because this is when we finally started to write our own history down. And the rest, as they say, is literally history. And all this leaves us with one last big thought. The story of early humanity was defined by the materials we mastered: stone, then bronze, then iron. It really makes you wonder, hundreds or even thousands of years from now, when people look back at our time, what single material